What's up guys, my name is Jessekazam. Welcome back to the Ultimate Escape from Tarkov Beginner's Guide. In this video, we're going to be talking about a few ways to make money without having to have a bunch of really expensive keys. I know when I was a new player, I was always looking for ways to make Roubles, to buy more and better gear to hopefully survive my raids. And a lot of the stuff that's out there is kind of based on having these really expensive keys to hit these really nice loot rooms. And so if you're in that place before you have the money to get those keys, or you're trying to grind for quest items or something like that, and you're looking to make some money, hopefully this will help. I stream Escape from Tarkov a few days a week, and all my links will be down below. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first tip is really just going to be know your loot. So the economy in Escape from Tarkov changes pretty fast and pretty dramatically, especially so far in 0.12. We've seen the devs mess with the economy a lot, and the addition of the hideout has made a lot of things a lot more valuable than they used to be. So really it is easier to make money in Escape from Tarkov now than it has ever been, and that comes down to really just like knowing what has value. So take a look at the hideout and what you need to upgrade that, and what types of items are needed for high value trades, what types of items are needed to upgrade the hideout. I mean, even things as simple as screws or bolts or something like that, which previously prior to 0.12 had absolutely no value at all, can have, you know, 15,000 upwards of 100,000 or more single slot value in your inventory. So if you know what to look for and know what has value, you can check the flea market and just do a little bit of investigating on what's worth it and what's not. That's going to help you to prioritize what you find in a raid and really maximize that value. But if you don't know what you're looking for and you're really only looking for those treasure spawns or those really high value stuff, you're going to walk right by a ton of money while you're doing that. So knowing what has value is the most important thing. The second tip is learn some non-key related loot runs. So the two that I find to be really effective, there's one on Reserve that Pestily covered in detail. There's a lot of the newer tech spawns and newer hideout equipment spawns that are needed in the Queen building, I think it is, and in a few of the buildings around there. And you can find a lot of items and make a lot of money because a lot of that stuff is really valuable. And then Interchange also has some incredible loot. So all of the tech stores, so Techo and TechLite, and there's even a few more. There's one across from Mantis. Those you can get graphics cards, which are insane value, and all sorts of different, 1G phones, magnets, a lot of stuff. And those tech stores are also right near Ollie, which has a lot of those kind of hideout loot, corrugated hoses, screws, nails, stuff like that. In the back, car batteries and stuff like that. So knowing a few loot runs that don't require keys can be really helpful. Now, I always suggest taking at least like a pistol or something with you, because there is nothing like trying to go for some loot and one tapping a geared guy in the face and then being able to not only walk out with a bag full of loot, but also gear. It dramatically increases your chances of surviving that raid. And if you're doing these loot runs, you're going to be on average making money with what you can put in your alpha, beta, or gamma container. So you're almost always going to be covering the cost of that pistol. So there's really no reason not to, because the times that you can actually survive an encounter, kill somebody, and pull a bunch of gear out, that your profit just skyrockets. So I would definitely suggest bringing a gun in with you of some sort. The next tip is these secret stashes that Battlestate Games added in with 0.12. So I'm going to link a few maps down below, but a lot of the maps have a lot of these little secret stashes that can actually have, they can have treasure items, they can have guns. I've seen P90s in there. There can be really nice ammo, barter items. So a lot of times you can find something that's useful, like a gun that you can use on a loot run, or you can find incredibly valuable loot in there. And this can be something that you actively do, like you actually just run Shoreline, for instance, and just hit these. And I've seen people make crazy good profit, no keys required. Or they can be something that, like if there's, if you have like a favorite map, if you just learn where they all are, every time you're on that map, you're always going to be relatively close to one, and you can just hit one, grab a little bit, and then over time that money really adds up. The fourth tip is going to be to upgrade your hideout. So the hideout is a pretty large investment in money. It costs a lot of items and money to upgrade the hideout, but a lot of those things yield a long-term return. So you've got like an obvious one like the Bitcoin farm, which happens way later in the hideout. That's passively making you money all the time, but that same rule applies to almost everything. So the med station is huge. We have out of rate healing now. You're having to buy meds all the time. I have 2 med cases full of meds that I've crafted because it's really cheap to craft something like a Salua. Every time I find the pile of meds, I can craft some IFAKs, and that way I'm saving money by not having to buy those meds later. You've got stuff like the lavatory and the workbench that allow you to take items that you maybe find in raid or buy off the flea market that aren't that valuable, and you can craft something more valuable and then either sell it or use it. It goes way beyond just the scav case and the Bitcoin farm. Once again, those are the big things. Everybody wants those things. Almost every part of the hideout that you upgrade, you can use that to make money. And then the final tip here is do night raids and night raids / scav farming. So for instance, if you go on Night Factory, especially if you pick, if you want to pick a server that, might be a little bit more dead, or even just your regular servers, if you just kind of Night Factory with some gear and farm scavs, that doesn't sound as sexy. You're not grabbing really high tier treasure loot, but you can fill up your bag with scav gear, dip, rinse and repeat. There's a lot less players on Night Factory or night raids in general that you're going to be running into, and there's really a lot of profit potential there. The other cool thing about that is that you're also passively leveling skills. So you're leveling your search skill, your charisma skill. You can bring in like a Mosin and do it with that. If you're proficient at that, level up your sniper skill, your recoil control. So it's not just making money, but you're also even working towards some of these quests if you need to, or stuff like that. And then you always have the potential of finding these ridiculously rare keys and stuff like that in scav jackets, and you hit jackpot or something like that. But that is another effective way to just make some money while playing the game. You know what I mean? So that's it. Those are my 5 tips right there. Know what loot is valuable. Find a few loot runs that you're comfortable running. Learn where these secret stashes are, upgrade the hideout, and try out some night raids or maybe some scav farming on Night Factory or something like that. I really hope this helped. I hope that this gave you some options to make money in Escape from Tarkov without needing expensive keys, without having to go do stuff that you feel like you can't do right now. And hopefully this gets you through where you are so that you can have fun in your raids and enjoy Escape from Tarkov. Thank y'all so much, as always, for taking the time to check out this video. Please leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this video or any of the tips, or if there's any guides you'd like to see me make here in the future. I'm always trying to create content that's helpful and helps shorten the learning curve of Escape from Tarkov and gets you in your raids having fun as soon as possible. Thank y'all so much again for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the next one.